Birthdays are special. It's the time when you feel the whole world revolves around you and only you. We all celebrate in different ways, of course, with parties, drinking, cake, and having a great time with friends and family. You especially go hard for your birthday if you're an influencer, because missing out on a party could be the final nail in the coffin for your social life and your social media accounts. You know what I'm talking about. But even if you're just an average Joe, it should be one of the happiest days of the year. For Verphy Kudi, it would become a horrible night that would change her life when she unknowingly sent her newborn child to the grave. Welcome back to Killer Bites, your favorite show that brings you all the hottest true crime stories in bite-sized videos. I'm Brandi, and let's jump into it. Today, our true crime story takes place all the way across the pond, as they say, in Brighton, England, a city about an hour south of London, where Verphy Kudi grew up with her mother and younger sister in a little community called Whitehawk. According to locals, Whitehawk isn't the safest neighborhood to live in, but it has its own charm. Nicknamed the third world area of Sussex, the crime and poverty rate of residents is quite high. But even under these circumstances, Verphy's mother said her daughter was a happy and caring girl who would light up the whole house with loud laughter. But it was around Verphy's 14th birthday that her family noticed change starting in their daughter. Whether it was puberty or something darker, we may never know. But the family and people around Verphy noticed that she began to distance herself from everyone, almost mentally shutting down in a sense. She definitely showed signs of severe emotional trouble. With this and extreme outbursts of anger that would come out of nowhere, her family started to get really worried. Verphy also began to skip school and leave the house without returning for long periods of time. It came to a point where her mother called the police on several occasions to report her missing. When news came to light that Verphy was experiencing bullying at her school, her mom did what any loving mother would do and helped Verphy transfer to a different school. But after a short period, she went missing again. The longest period she'd gone without contacting her family was around 5 weeks. At this point, social services became involved due to Verphy's family expressing concerns for her safety and suspicions that she had possibly become a victim of child exploitation, which is awful. Verphy was then placed in a safe house, a refuge where women and children who are experiencing domestic abuse can stay free from fear in Norfolk, an almost 3-hour drive from her home in Brighton. But after 6 months in this placement, she got pregnant. Verphy gave birth to her beautiful baby girl named Asiah on March 22nd, 2018, when Verphy was only 17 years old. Due to the background of social services involvement with Verphy, Asiah was made the subject of child protection services from birth. But after a brief amount of time, they stopped involving themselves with Verphy and Asiah, with all plans and services removed. She moved into a supported housing block for young families run by the YMCA on behalf of Brighton City. They sometimes call these a mother and baby unit. In England, this is a type of housing that should have 24-hour staff who can help with childcare if asked. Things seem to be looking up for Verphy. Her family reached out to her several times, expressing their concern and wanting to help take care of newborn Asiah. But according to her personal social media accounts, Verphy wasn't exactly worrying too much about her new life as a mother. In December of 2018, the same year Asiah was born, Verphy opened up a new YouTube channel called VLDN Diaries, where she began to post vlogs and other content pertaining to her everyday life. She was also active on her Twitter and Instagram accounts in order to create a kind of influencer brand for her life, a life without any signs of Asiah. Her accounts have been completely wiped clean, but from re-uploaded screenshots and other videos on YouTube, it was clear that Verphy never talked about her daughter. No pictures, no videos, nothing. And in 2019, Verphy continued to live and broadcast this kind of lifestyle online. She began to go out more, keeping up her image of being a socialite, and all these parties were taking a toll on her time spent with her baby. In court documents and uncovered CCTV footage, national surveillance cameras used in places like the UK UK, it was reported that Verphy often left Asiah alone in their apartment for hours. And this wasn't just a one-time thing. Verphy had left her child alone as many as 11 different times before Asiah's first birthday. One time in October, Verphy left Asiah alone for more than 7 hours to go to a party in Brighton. The next month, she left her alone for almost 11 hours. There was even video evidence that she had left Asiah alone for over 2 days. From these experiences, court psychologists pointed out that baby Asiah had learned to stop crying out for help because she wouldn't receive the attention she needed. But Verphy didn't seem to notice because she continued to go out and post more YouTube videos and other social media content about her experiences without baby Asiah, who was always at home. Verphy was more concerned about going out, meeting boys, and partying. It was almost December, and her 18th birthday was just around the corner. On December 5th, 2019, Verphy decided to celebrate her 18th birthday around town in Brighton. She canceled a dinner date with her mother and other family members who wanted to celebrate the occasion together by telling them that she was too ill to attend and that Asiah was also unwell. After making arrangements for parties with friends, she contacted her mother again, but not to ask for help with babysitting, but instead to borrow money for Asiah's baby food that she really planned to put towards her birthday celebrations. And then she left, just like she had done before, leaving 20-month-old Asiah at the apartment alone. According to the CCTV footage, Verphy left the night of the 5th and stayed in London, where she spent some time with her boyfriend. 2 days later, she attended a concert at Elephant and Castle, an area located in southeast London, where there were videos of her dancing while the DJ gave her a special birthday shout-out. On the 9th, Verphy was on the move. She carried on her bender to a birthday party in Coventry. That's like 150 miles from her apartment in Brighton, where her infant Asiah was staying alone. She contacted her mother again for some money, this time claiming that she needed it for groceries and would pay her back the following week. She then returned to London the next day for other plans. After almost 6 whole days of partying around England, Verphy finally returned home and entered her apartment on December 11th, where she discovered that baby Asiah was not breathing. According to camera footage timestamps of when she arrived versus when she placed the emergency call, she stayed in her apartment for 3 whole hours before reaching out for help. But it gets crazier, folks. Not only did she wait 3 hours to call someone, during those 3 hours, she tried to resell some concert tickets online via Twitter. And we have the receipts. When the police did finally arrive and paramedics found Asiah on the floor and attempted to resuscitate her, Verphy began telling officials several things that weren't true. Among the various stories, Verphy claimed she and Asiah had been sick since her birthday on December 5th, and that she'd been asleep all day and had given Asiah some ibuprofen to help. She also claimed that Asiah had caught a virus and hadn't been herself, and that she, as a good mother, had given her child milk and even changed her diaper. She gave these long and very detailed explanations of things she'd done for a number of days with her child. But they were all lies. It was later revealed in an autopsy that she had died of dehydration, starvation, and influenza. From those results, it's clear baby Asiah couldn't have spent her last days in anything less than unimaginable suffering. The police began investigating Verphy, and headlines like "Teen Mom Goes on Bender, Ending Child's Life" spread like wildfire throughout England. But it wasn't those headlines or even the video messages Verphy's sister was putting out online, claiming that nothing had been proven in court, so her sister was still innocent, that had British citizens disturbed. What sent them into an absolute storm of hate was the fact that Verphy wasn't being held in jail. She was out and about living her normal socialite life. She was still uploading videos onto YouTube, posting on all her social accounts. She even applied to be a model for an agency called Pretty Little Things in October of 2020 and was asking people on Twitter to retweet her so she could get noticed by the company. All this evidence against Verphy made it clear to the judge that Verphy had prioritized her own desires over the needs of her child and chose lies over the truth to try and save herself, despite knowing how much her child had suffered before passing away. And on May 28, 2021, Verphy was found guilty of manslaughter and sentenced to 9 years in prison. So that's what happened in the case of Verphy Kudi, the UK party mom who took on the hate of a nation when she abandoned her baby girl, Asiah, at home to die. Child neglect is one of the greater silent killers in this world. Listeners, please hug your loved ones tight tonight, and remember that even on your birthday, the world doesn't revolve around you. So next time you plan on celebrating, do it with the ones who love you the most. That's all I have for today. Let us know what you think about Verphy and Asaih Kudi's story in the comments below. I'm Brandi. Thanks for watching Killer Bites. See you next time.